What's going on, everybody? Miles here, and today I'm going to show you the acoustic version of Airbag and how to play it on the guitar.
Please have mercy on my terrible soul. Everything is so out of control. Don't close your eyes, just stay with me. We're gonna be fine.
So first things first, let's talk about what the guitars are tuned to for this song. Typically when we're playing out, most of our songs are in either C# standard tuning or in drop B. And in this case, with the acoustic version of Airbag, we're in C# standard. So that is C#, F#, B, E, G#, C#. So originally Airbag is in the key of B minor, so the guitars are tuned down to drop B. But I opted to change the key to F# minor just to make it easier to sing. And so the chord changes are slightly different than they would be in the original version. In this case, you're starting off with what would be the chord for A minor. Now because we're tuned down a whole step and a half below standard tuning, that A minor is actually sounding as an F# minor. And you're just arpeggiating that chord to start it off. And then you're switching to what would be E. So far, 2 open chords. And the same application with the E chord as well. You're arpeggiating single strings. Now on the second repeat, after you play that A minor chord a second time, when you go to E, I'm playing an E dominant 7 chord. So I'm just adding my pinky to the 3rd fret of the B string, while also keeping the D string open. So it just gives a different sort of tonality within the same vein as the initial E chord that we played. So now this time around on the 3rd repeat, we're going from A minor to what would be D minor. And then that's followed by F major 7, which in terms of your open chords, it's like your F, but you're not also covering the high E string. You're going to keep it open. And then back to your E. You can make it a dominant 7 if you want. It doesn't matter. So moving on to the verse chords are slightly different than what are originally in the sort of full band electric version of Airbag. In this case, you're going from what would be A minor to E over G sharp, which basically what you're doing here is playing that chord, just kind of an elongated version of what would be E, but you're throwing in this note down here on the low E string. So you have this descending thing from A minor. And from there to G, and then to D over F sharp. So altogether you have this line of, and then down to F. So now the pre-chorus, you're playing F to E, A minor to G, F again to your E, and then back to A minor. You do this all again. And then on the fourth repeat, you stay on F, then E, and then we go to the chorus. Now, the way that I play the chorus in this case, I'm trying to incorporate elements of the original version of the song into what I'm playing. And I'll show you that way to do it, but we're also going to go over the simple way to do it so that you're not having to worry about doing all this weird stuff in terms of your finger placement. So, first, let's do the simple way. We're going to stay in A minor, then to F, to E. Followed by D minor, E. So that's the simple version. And now for the more complicated version. So in the original version of the song, we have this sort of ascending line that's like, but in this case, I'm incorporating that into the chord of A minor. So you're just going from playing A minor, taking your first finger off, that gives you an A suspended 2 chord. Put your finger back, add your pinky to the 3rd fret of the B string, and then F to E. So. And then things get weirder, because the second time around, we reverse the order of the ascending line so that it's now going just like in the verse. So this is also going to be incorporated into our A minor chord. Going from A minor to A minor major 7, A minor 7, and then whatever this chord would be, back to D, or rather F, and then E. So, fully in context, that would be so basically what's going on there is that those single notes are now going to be within the vicinity of our A minor chord. Now to play A minor major 7, you can use 2 fingers to play those 2 notes that are in the chord itself, or you can use 1 finger. That's what I do. And then lift the finger off to go to A minor 7. And then you have this chord that follows. I don't know what it's called. But all together you would have your D minor. And now throughout the acoustic version of the song, there's a bunch of like little single note noodly things like that going on. We're not going to worry too much about that for today. Right now I just want to go over the chords in the song. So another verse, another pre-chorus, another chorus. After that there's the bridge. So from there we're going from A minor, and if you want to get real weird with it, you could throw in an A minor add 2 and strum backward up the strings close to the bridge to get that sort of flamenco style sound. And from there to E. Thinking about it in terms of C sharp, but think of it in terms of an E chord if that makes it easier for you. Back to A minor again, back to E again. Then you can go to E dominant 7, and then there's the solo section. So F, E, A minor, F, Part 2. And those are the chords for the song. Now, as far as the actual solo in the song, it's based around A harmonic minor. Lots of things based around that sort of stylistic approach. As far as the single notes, you can figure it out. Just listen to it slow and go through it that way. As for the more involved parts, there's an A minor arpeggio that's thrown in midway through the solo. So that's going from the 12th fret of the high E string down to the 8th fret, and you want to do a pull off just so that you can do a downstroke with your pick and then follow that downstroke with all upstrokes leading through the rest of the strings. So you're going to the 10th fret of your B string, to the 9th fret of your G, to the 10th fret of D, and then the 12th fret of your A string. And then it sweeps back up. So if you're not really keen on sweep picking, basically the technique is playing a multitude of notes while doing one single swoop across the strings. So something like that. And that's thrown in there real quick during the solo. So there's that. And then what follows after that is these series of 2-note phrases where you're harmonizing the notes. First one being at the 10th fret of G and high E, and then you go up to the 13th fret on high E and the 14th fret of G. So slide that down a half step, and then the real fun part is figuring out how to reach over to the 16th fret on both those strings again. And then the last 2 notes are on the 17th fret of both G and high E. So the other element of this whole part of the solo is just that you're going to be doing a fast strum of each of those 2-note phrases. And I think the best approach to it is just to keep your picking light so that you're not getting caught up in between strings. So and that should do it. When you're doing that part, it also helps to pick over the fretboard, just so that you're not in a place where you're going to be causing a lot of resistance from the strings if you dip your pick too low between the strings. But that's the basic gist on how to play Airbag as the acoustic version. Hopefully you found this to be useful, and if you want to see more tutorials on other songs of ours, let me know. I play guitar all day, every day, so I'm happy to do it. All right, but for now, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, look us up on social media, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, take it easy.